A few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to sit down with my friend Barry Reminder, and we were talking about what it means to serve the Lord at church and what it means to build a legacy. I walked away from this interview asking myself, what does it mean to serve the Lord in church and even out of church, but, to build a legacy, to make a difference, to make an impact for God and for His kingdom. And I think you're really going to like what Barry has to say today. So what a lot of people don't know is that you've been a rock star in our ministry for a lot of years, Barry. And tell us a little bit about how you got connected into serving at Hopevale on the tech team.
Well, coming here in 2013, walking through the doors, I noticed a couple of things. The first thing that struck me was, hey, this was a place that I could be totally anonymous. I could just blend in and come and go. But I also noticed another thing, and I noticed that it was a community of grace and truth. And that really struck me. For a while, we came, we sat in the seats, and we listened, and we heard truth. And so that impacted us. And coming from a place in Valpo where I was part of a tech team, I decided that I wanted to serve again. So I went up and I talked to Larry Lang. He said, hey, can you make some CDs for me? And so
what are CDs?
CDs, those little circular discs. You captured audio on, and we used to make a lot of those, and people gobbled them up, and they went all over the United States to members' family that lived in other cities. So it was a good ministry. But that's how I got in the back room, so to speak. I love the anonymity of the back room. Larry just kind of expanded the role. We went from, this is how the CDs work, to, oh, by the way, we're starting to put videos online. And do you know anything about it?
I always think about how every one of us that serve at church, how we're an usher, if you will. Like, we're not the main deal. Nobody's the main act. We're all trying to do our best to usher people into God's presence and help people just sort of get in the palm of God's hand and just stay there and rest for a while, and learn and be challenged and grow. And you've done a really good job ushering people into God's presence, I think, with especially, the CD and DVD ministry that we had for a long while here, and posting the editing and posting the services, the sermons, and now the whole services online and things like that. Have you heard any stories through the years of like how the ministry of Hopevale Church and God's Word and worship experiences have really ministered to people through the years? Have you heard much of that?
I would hear stories from members all the time as they were traveling. It's kind of neat to hear somebody talk about we were on our way to Florida, but we didn't miss the opportunity to dial in and watch the service at Hopevale online. That's kind of a special thing, and I know once we post it to places like Vimeo and Facebook now, and you get in there and you look at the analytics, and you kind of see where people are looking at your service, and to see people from all over the world venture in and take a look at Hopevale is fulfilling.
Yeah. How do you feel like God has moved in your life, and maybe not just serving at Hopevale, but serving the Lord throughout your life? How do you feel like you're different for serving the Lord, and how has God moved you more into the likeness of Himself?
Great question. One of my favorite verses in the New Testament is in Ephesians, chapter 2, verse 10. We are God's handiwork. He went into His workshop and He created us. And He created us in Jesus to do good works. And the part about that verse that really blows my mind is all the things that He created for us to be involved in, He did before He created us. blows me away. So in working with churches all my life, either in a part-time volunteer role or as I did here in Hopevale, I took it on as more of a full-time job that allowed me not to have to go to the meetings, but allowed me to work behind the scenes where I was able to contribute and take a message from this stage of truth and grace and put it online where other people can experience Jesus. What a fulfilling thing. Has it shaped my life? Absolutely. Am I different, and have I been impacted by knowing that Jesus had a place for me, that he created things for me to be involved in? Wow.
Yeah.